Hello everyone, it's another interesting episode on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi Jimmy.
Good morning.
Nice combination with the eyes and the dress and the shoes.
And the shoes.
Right.
And the nail polish.
Thank
So
you.
this is turquoise blue, right?
Thank you very kindly. Yes, it is turquoise. I thank God for new anointing for the year 2017 and renewed fire to go into the year and conquer, and there will be evidence.
The end of the month.
See them giving you a clothes up and down.
you are in YK today.
And I must say a very big thank you also to the MD of Lasena Water, who personally came to drop water at my house on Saturday.
Wow.
What?
Personally.
How did that happen? Tell us.
Okay, so I was looking for, with my renewed trying to live healthy, is the only water I drink. And there's somebody who supplies close to my house, but she wasn't open on Saturday for whatever reasons. So I called him, asked, Oga, I thought you said there's someone close to me in Okwebi. Says, are you home now, Jumoke? I said, yes. 2 vehicles to just come and drop me water.
I need water too. I'm trying to even call Uwa to get the contact for the, you said someone in Ogba. So I'm trying to actually, I need that dispenser. I need the dispenser.
Packed in cartons beautifully, you know,
Wow,
very
you were saying
nice.
that they're going to start making it in
Yeah,
cartons.
very nice.
Oh, well done.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much, sir.
That's fantastic. Hi, Topsy.
I'm very good. I had a very good weekend learning. Sometimes you know something and you actually never practice what you know. So we've gone through, we had a Saturday class on learning about managing finances, personal finance, moving from being financially dependent on and moving to financial freedom, and some basic things that my pastor has drummed into our ears years ago that I never practiced, but I want to start keeping a diary of my expenses, income, everything. I want to know.
Actually, I do that easily.
Very,
like,
when you're a salary earner,
everything
it
you
is
buy.
yes, everything, every
I've done that
single
before.
thing.
I mean, right now it's almost automatic. Like, I can actually project what I spend on food. I can project what I spend on that kind of stuff. But it's like in my head already.
What
like
of recharge cards, grandma?
I have a budget.
She has a
I have a
budget,
budget for
so-
those things. I don't go beyond my budget. Yes, I know how much I spend for phone. I know what's for housekeeping.
I want to be like
I
you.
have a budget.
That's
So-
actually very
So
decent.
my savings are removed. So there's nothing I can do.
No, I save.
I don't
but
touch.
the ones I don't save, I just
How
spend.
do you spend it?
So I don't have a clear
Yeah.
cut. I want
Everybody
to.
Ololuko. I don't spend beyond my budget. Oh, I'm very, very disciplined in that. But yes,
Nice. Chung Chung, you're really looking like Chung Chung today.
She has. You have transformed that.
We have decided to start looking more like our roots.
Brand.
Yeah.
When China is looking for their descendants, they will just come and they will just carry me. So if Nigeria, they decide not to take care of us. But I had a fantastic weekend. I went for the Lagos State Eco Art Expo. It was amazing. I mean, I give a shout out to Bolale Austin Peters, the entire team of what's it called, the committee for towards celebrating Lagos State at 50. I thought I would see.
Was it well
attended?
attended?
It was well
Especially
attended.
opening
It was
nice.
well. You needed to have seen the artwork. Amazing.
Nice.
There was a section that was for young upcoming artists, and most of them sold and they made money.
Ah, nice, very nice.
I'm really excited. The governor is.
The money
doing-
is where the money
No,
is.
I'm telling you, Lagos State government, they
yeah.
are really, they have great plans. Buildings, about 6 cinemas.
6 cinemas across
building,
the state.
what's it called?
They're
Studios.
revamping
The National Theatre. I mean,
And our honorable minister is taking credit for it. Like,
Which minister?
Which other minister? I'll be the first
only
person
minister that will meet
has, and I wonder
that will meet this National Theatre and leave it
it's
better than I met it.
And I'm wondering,
like, is it your money?
But the point is, I'm sure it must have been a partnership because I don't think
No,
National
it's Lagos
Theatre
State
is
government.
the
not owned
governor
by.
called him
It's
and
Lagos
said,
State
"Sir,
government.
which one of the monument would you like us to revamp?"
Hey,
They
Lagos
agreed.
State. Please
And
let
then-
us clap for
So
this.
the
I'm
governor
telling
came.
you.
So
See,
My head is wooing.
And
I'm
guess
not
what?
even
And
from
guess
Lagos
what?
State.
The plan is to actually drive tourism.
Yeah.
You know, the art sector
we have
in
to move
Nigeria,
on. We have to
we're
move on,
not.
unfortunately. But
You didn't
No, I
like
just
Mariah
needed
talk now.
They never let
to
me talk.
express myself.
No,
I
but
have
because
a
the few
lot to
times
say.
they let you talk, you're always like, I can't remember how I started.
let's take a break. Anyway, I'll just about my weekend tomorrow. When we come back, we
You're
look at the
looking
front
pretty,
pages
though.
of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the Punch this morning. U.S. judgment will push for Kashamu's arrest, says NDLEA. 3, 4, 5 people will die before I'm extradited. That's Senator. I actually wanted to read that article, but I couldn't. Let's see. 3 Southeast PDP governors to defect to APC, says Okorocha. 3 friends abducted during birthday celebration. El Rufai should name killer headsmen he offered money to, says Suleiman. Maths, English to be taught in indigenous languages, says Minister. 6 governors absent at APC Northwest leaders meeting. Jonathan Wike blocked delivery of helicopters, says Amechi. China Exim Bank okays 408 billion naira for Lagos Ibadan Rail project. And presidency releases Buhari's photos with wife in the UK.
I have all the stories.
In fact,
Because you started out with
human angle,
The human angle. The
Yes,
two girls.
the human angle. 2 girls, Bisola Mohammed, Damilola, and their friend, a guy, had gone to Bisola's party. She was celebrating 24 years, and she had gone with the guy. No. She had gone with her female friend. The guy was attending the party. Anyway, they got missing. Go ahead.
Veronica is the one with celebrating. Bisola is a friend from Lagos that came. And Dami was the guy that they don't know who it was, but they're assuming it was probably Damila's friend. But go ahead. Yeah.
And so they now found Dami's SUV at the scene of the party. The windscreen had been broken, indicating that the 3 of them may have been abducted. Till now, we don't have any information about their whereabouts.
Yes.
Over social media.
Obviously, their friends put it all over social media.
But I didn't know there was a guy, because on social media we saw 2 girls.
2 girls.
Over
What
and
happened
over
was
again.
that they're assuming that Dami is probably Bisola's friend, who's from Lagos. She flew into Abuja for the party. So Damila is probably her own friend, who Veronica didn't know, her friends did not know, her family did not know who Dami was. They just know that Dami was in the picture.
So until somebody now shouted that, his own car has been found at the party.
Yes.
So people now sort of linked them,
Yeah.
that the 2 girls
Yeah.
got missing at the
Yeah.
same party.
I wanted to quickly talk on the math and English being taught.
Oh,
in
yes,
these
so
languages.
When
It's a
are we going to
fantastic-
start producing pencils?
It's a
see.
fantastic idea. It's a welcomed idea. But you see, I'm very, very particular about implementation, because I told you I attended a school fair and they said that because they want to introduce iPads to the students in year 7, they had started training the teachers about 2 years prior to that time. So let it not be abrupt. If they want to really do it, for them to make it effective.
A
the
10-year
training-
plan?
No,
that's
10 years. At
but I
least
think
they should give the teachers
might
about 6
train them.
6 months to 1 year.
Well,
No,
proper training.
it might
Talk
be
about
that
that
much, because we
during
need to
implementation.
change curriculum. They need to teach the teachers to be
But
able to teach. You need to change. All the curriculum is to be transcribed into
What of
indigenous
the
languages.
books?
We have so many indigenous languages that they need to clarify which ones are we covering.
The major
Do we
3.
have enough teachers
I'm
to
sure
cover
when
them?
it comes to implementation, I'm sure those things will be considered. But the idea is that they are for
It's a good
the
move.
minister all know to
It's a
actually do
fantastic
it. It's a good
move.
idea, because we've seen how it's been
I'm
done in
asking
China,
again.
India.
He said 2 years ago that by 2017 we'll be producing pencils in Nigeria. When are we starting?
When you see the minister, ask him that. Moving on to the nation.
It's easy to just say
Trump
things.
adamant as
that's true.
world leaders criticize travel ban. Merkel may condemn order. 16 Attorney General, it says it's unconstitutional. CBN queries 5 banks for manipulating forex rates. Wike Amechi clash over helicopters. Police squeeze lawmakers over Ondo house crisis. So who has the Trump story?
I
On
have the Trump.
Friday,
Go ahead.
President Donald Trump, now he's the president, signed an executive order that bans 7 countries,
Yeah.
7 predominantly Muslim-based countries. Now it is not. He said it's not a Muslim ban, but there are predominantly 7 Muslim-based countries:
And they
Libya,
are?
Sudan, Iran, Iraq,
Yemen, and
Yemen
Somalia.
and Somalia. So these countries now, anybody, even though it took effect immediately, he signed it, so people in transit and all that. The reaction we're getting is from world leaders, example being Angela Merkel from Germany, saying that this is not right, that America signed into the Geneva Treaty, which says that you should allow people that are fleeing conflict zone into your country. But Trump,
But
is
Trump
adamant.
replies- No.
But this is he has promised when he was campaigning, and at least he's fulfilling his campaign
Yes,
promise.
Jumoke, you're going to say.
He replied to say that the refugee issue, that there are rich Muslim countries like Saudi Arabia and
should go there.
UAE. Why are they
Close
not
to them.
fleeing? Why are they not fleeing there? Why are they coming to the US?
it affect
Also, how
Nigerians?
does it affect Nigeria? Sorry, Morayo, I would only compare it to our president. This is 10 days. Trump is also over 70 years. He has started implementing
All
his
his
promises.
promises.
Bam, bam,
Okay,
bam.
well, the
Nigerians,
thing- well, for Nigerians,
Nigerians,
they say that
they will
they're
no
going
longer
to
give
2-year
visas, 2-year
visas.
visa.
It's not be 1 year, one. And number two, if you have the dual citizenship with one of these 7 countries,
lose
your
it.
American citizen is likely to be revoked.
May I give you the counter of the story, though? 16 attorney generals are saying that they will work to ensure that as few people as possible suffer from the chaotic situation that it has caused.
Okay,
you
moving
know,
on
so-
to
Me, I'm just
Vanguard.
saying our leaders should look inward. Because the truth is that even with the 2-year visa, how many times did we visit the America? That's not my problem. Let's look inward and find how we can make our country better.
Moving on to Vanguard. How Trump's immigration policy will affect Nigerians. We talked about that already. Turkish school, 20-year-old kidnappers nurse, informant, nabbed. Southern Kaduna, reigning apostle Suleiman now, presidency tells Khan. Defection to APC, Southeast governors deny Okorocha's claims. Nigeria not ready for investment of pension assets in infrastructure. Stock market, investors lose 187 billion naira in 3 weeks. Systems collapse, gas, water constraints cause 3.86 billion naira power sector loss. Right, who read Apostle Suleiman? Who read that story?
So Apostle Suleiman was saying to the federal government that the governor of Kaduna, Malam El Rufai, should tell Nigerians, the herdsmen that he paid money to. Now, I was looking in the story for when El Rufai paid herdsmen money, but Suleiman is saying that, therefore, we must hold the governor for murder. That if you know these herdsmen and you are able to pay them money, then you are an accomplice in their crime.
The sad part is that there's no, you can't stop something if you do not punish people that do it. There has to be a deterrence. There must be some people that will be brought to book, like arrested, taken to court, because some people Nigerians were killed, and we cannot let them feel that they can get away with it.
Well, the presidency keeps saying that, listen, we can't continue to preach division amongst us, that we're trying to actually solve this problem, and they feel that Apostle Suleiman is trying to incite division, which is not.
I don't want division,
strategy.
but I think that if you don't want division either, you would do the right thing. I can't have 2 children, and I am obviously taking sides with one against the other.
Well, let's
The
move
other
on
person,
to
there's no need to say division now. You have divided it by yourself.
Daily Sun. Northeast IDP camps contract. Senate draws battle line with SGF Lawal. No going back on our position, say senators. Anxiety over acting CGN's tenure. Oba of Benin reads Riot Act to Enige Edionwere Ohens. CBN queries banks over inaccurate forex data. Outrage over DSS's invitation to Apostle Suleiman. I imported armored helicopters, says Amechi. Who read that
Okay,
story?
I have those 2 stories. Minister Amechi was the one who imported, you know, it went viral over the weekend that the customs
Impounded. Yeah.
impounded 2 helicopters that the owners were unknown. Anyway, Wike said that it was former Governor Amechi who imported the helicopters, but that when he came in, he asked for waivers. The federal government rejected his plea, and so he said, I cannot pay the customs duty on these helicopters. Take them, give them to the Air Force. So why are we then playing politics with it, that they are now saying we don't know the owner? And Amechi is attesting to that he was the one who imported the helicopters for security purposes in Port Harcourt.
I want to quickly talk about Apostle Suleiman's the outrage. Fayose is talking again. He's been invited to come to the DSS. He's supposed to report there today to sign some form of documentation. And from the report, they said that Oyedepo might also be invited, and that what he thinks is wrong for them to put, that's Fayose talking, wrong for them to put religious leaders in that position, or are they trying to do whatever? So hopefully if he reports at the DSS, they'll be able to sign
The
some form of
CJN,
agreement.
And God will bless you.
we need to talk about it. The president needs to step up. It's almost 3 months, and his name has not been sent to the Senate for confirmation.
Unfortunately,
CJN is a major issue.
Okay,
I
so
wonder if it was Hausa Fulani, if his name would have been sent since. I'm just wondering.
that's all we can take on front page
Continue to
review.
wonder.
When we return, the picture, or is it the video that's going viral? Reverend Father in church armed, is that right? Then later we speak to someone from about power supply. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view
Thanks for staying with us. Recently, a picture of a reverend father in church with a rifle went viral on social media. This has led to controversies among Nigerians as some advised the National Assembly to pass a bill legalizing the use of machine guns by parishioners in the north especially. Another commentator said that God help those who helps themselves. Is this a true definition of the Bible that also says watch and pray? Now, what are your thoughts on this? It's your view. Call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so you can read your tweets. Now, recently I was having a conversation with some people and Christians, and they're actually considering getting guns.
Really? In Lagos?
In Lagos.
Why?
Like,
What
they say,
for?
you know what?
Against kidnapping, because that
The
one has
whole
become
works.
rampant.
They just feel that, listen, things are not safe. I mean, I know the Lagos State government has tried to make Lagos as secure as possible, but people
Yeah.
just feel the influx of certain people from certain parts of the country is
but
making
that's economy, it's
Certain people
hunger.
from certain part of the country.
Yeah. So they just feel safer with having, I mean, now with this pastor of parishioner,
Reverend Father, maybe.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Jumoke?
I just have all the comic sides to this story. There was another picture on social media where some men of God were shown with their full armory of bodyguards, well armed to the teeth, and saying these same pastors will give their parishioners only oil for protection, anointing oil for protection, but see the security
They have
guarding
themselves.
them.
Really? I didn't even see that one.
There's another one like that.
Interesting.
And there's a particular Jericho pastor who showed several times, you know, in the picture.
Well, it's not in the south. It's not in the north. That one is not. That's here.
But Mariah, you see, this verse of God, heaven helps those who help themselves. It's not in the Bible.
Yes.
So we must correct that. God protects his people. But then again, I read the Old Testament too. And the people of God fought many wars. So I think that if we're spiritual in nature and we stay connected to God, in his own way of protecting us, he will teach us the right things to
but
do.
Christians have died, so did he not protect
So-
those ones?
so-
What happened to those ones that died?
It's always
Southern
the thin
Cardinal
line,
killings.
because they always say that, oh, the Bible, the New Testament says that when you slap one eye, you turn one cheek, you turn the other cheek. It's a thin line, because wisdom is profitable to direct you to know what to do. You cannot see. It's like you know that death is coming, and you wouldn't in any way protect yourself.
You
In
leave
the
your
same way
doors
as saying
open.
that Jesus Christ was, when they say Jesus Christ to jump down from the mountain, that
God will
God's
protect him.
angels will protect you. You don't tempt God. You know what to do. Now, I would not advocate for violence. The job of protecting citizenry, it lies solely on the constituted authorities.
Self-defense is not violence. So.
You know, so when you know that you have already done your part to make noise, which they've done enough of, and they are still seeing that there might be imminent attack, I'm not against them protecting themselves. Now, that picture they said was not even a recent picture, that was a very old picture that was
the
just
days
being,
of Boko Haram.
it was just being reposted and all that. It sends me a funny message when I see a pastor carrying a gun. It just feels somehow.
But you know, my pastor, my neighbor, he carries a gun.
But I'm not adverse to you protecting yourself. I'm totally not averse to it. You cannot expect that.
So does it seem like you're not practicing what you're preaching?
No,
let me
the message did not say you should not protect yourself.
Oh, but
this is a different
okay,
picture,
so hang in
but
there.
I've not seen this
What
one.
do you do with a gun? Is it just for show? Or just for me? You
Self-defense.
fire it. You
Mariah.
fire it. So are you saying that you're preaching that you can kill somebody?
If your
Self-defense.
life is on the line,
Really? Wow. Okay.
Every human being has the tendency to have good inside of them and evil
bad.
inside of them.
So
My own definition of peace is not the absence of war, but just the presence of justice. When you see things like this that have happened over the years, people are being killed every day, and nobody is being questioned. Of course, people will take laws in their hands. You see, in a sane society where they know that for every life that is lost, heads will roll.
Somebody must be accountable.
Somebody must be accountable for those lives that are lost. Of course, nobody would be stupid to say they want to go and take any arms to protect themselves. What these people are just telling the government is that we are not feeling
You're not doing your
that
job.
you are being just. You're not being fair. You
They're
know,
not protecting us.
that is one angle.
yeah, let me take Pastor Abe. Thanks for calling, Pastor Abe.
Right person.
Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I've been trying to get you for some time. But concerning these pastors carrying guns while
yes.
preaching, it is very, very wrong. It's unethical. You see, everything has to do with your preparation. You have your usher, you have your protocol department. You see, we are just playing to the gallery. The right thing needs to be done. We have the security personnel. I'm a pastor, a general overseer of a ministry.
Yes,
I have my ministry registered with SSS. They know when any activity is going on.
So you have
That is
protection
one. Then two, the police are aware. And if I have a special program, I inform them. You see, there must be a relationship between you and the security. You cannot be preaching and be the security at the same time. You will be distracted.
All right, thank you, Pastor
The
Abe.
right thing needs to be done.
Thank you very much,
love the
Pastor Abe.
angle he's
Is it, wait, hang in there. Is it comfortable for Pastor Abe to say that because he's probably in the south?
He's in-
Now, if you're a pastor in the northeast
Where
or
there's a
somewhere
lot
where
of-
they are blowing
Yes,
up
yes.
But I
churches,
agree with
or they're
Pastor
go-
Abe on the fact that while you're preaching, you might have security apparatus and security people
If you're in a
around
state
you.
that the security
even
apparatus is just
there,
not available for
even
you.
there, I already said I had issues with a man of God wearing a robe and carrying the gun in the church. I have issues
That's
with
the
that
picture
one.
we have seen.
But you can have security people holding the guns around. Where I feel that you should protect yourself when it is obvious that the government and state apparatus is not doing their job is when you are in your house and you know, okay, this is a Christian-dominated area and we've been having series of attacks from this headsmen, whatever, and you know they might be coming. You should have a gun around you. That if they come, you will be able to protect
Well,
yourself.
I don't think
Anyway,
the government wants us to say that.
Anyway,
You might not want us to say it, but it's the reality. Why should I wait and hope that they will do the right thing?
Well-
and when I see that my neighbors and others around me are dying on a daily basis, and they're not even called to be, the people
All right,
doing it are not
so
called
wait
to book.
for, okay, let's go ahead.
My church has security apparatus from the government, always stationed at the gate, just in case somebody is thinking something. We are here fully armed. We even have bomb, what they call that, in bomb detectors.
yeah.
You know, I wanted to mention that Aldu Makore went on his Twitter page and was mentioning how his driver's father or family member was killed. And people went at him, you know, for inciting, and he said, listen, I'm telling you that the people on ground in this state are getting killed, and you are coming at me rather than going at the government and asking why the lives of Nigerians is like that of a chicken.
Okay, let me take this call. Marvelous from K2, are you there?
Hello, good morning, man.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
To me, I support what the pastor is saying because even in the Bible, it says, Matthew 11, verse 12, that the kingdom of God suffered violence.
And the violent take it by force.
That was it.
That can be implemented in different ways.
In
yeah.
different ways.
What it shows is that the Ministry of Defense has failed Nigeria. That is what it shows. For the man of God taking up rifle, it shows that the Ministry of Defense has failed Nigeria.
Now, my husband was telling me that while they were growing up, you know, because the father was a soldier, there was a time that every night you would see big snakes based on the locations that, you know, that they were staying, the location they were staying. Big snakes come into their compound. They crawl into the compound because they had chickens that they were rearing. And the father would always use the guns to shoot. There was a time, there was a very big one that came. He shot the snake into two. Now, what we've seen over the years is these people coming to steal, to kill, to destroy lives, properties, and all that. So I think, yes, I agree that at some point when the government has failed in their duty, because the primary role of the government is to actually provide security, you know, primary role. And since they are not providing security, I said it last week that even for schools, you know, I think since schools have become targets for kidnappers, they should go and put armed people. You people were shouting that no.
How
But
many
that is,
schools?
it's the same
How many
thing.
schools? How many schools are in Lagos
It's the
State?
same
How
thing
many
that we're talking
schools,
about.
Moving on to Endurance, Zaria. Endurance, thanks for
New
calling.
business opportunity.
Hello, good morning.
Private security.
Morning, thanks for
official.
calling.
Yes.
This is my first time trying to reach you guys since.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, I don't think holding gun in church is very, very wrong.
Okay.
But I think the government should
land.
should put security personnel around these people, as they know they are very important and are liable
have enough.
targets.
All right, thank you very much, Endurance.
I wanted to ask
As
you
much
how
as we're
Zaria
talking
is.
about how to protect individuals protecting themselves. I think we can't be on this panel and not emphasize how the government must do their job to protect people that voted for them. They must protect people that voted. And it's, apart from those that have died, you don't just let them, they are gone already. We must ensure that those that killed them are brought to book.
Okay.
That way I wouldn't take up arms. Don't tell me not to take up arms. Protect me. Let me see you fight for me. Then I know I don't need to fight for myself. But as long as I can see that you're not doing anything to protect me, I'll handle it myself.
Adebayo says, it's unbelievable that we're supporting proliferation of arms by people. Kunle Adelabu says, the image on your screen looks photoshopped. So Ibrahim says, well, it's a free world, so it should be licensed because some people are using it without the license. Defend yourself. Issa says, the man is a soldier pastor now. Living World said, God is able to secure his own. Akorede says, signs of end time. Wonder what is actually preaching.
Exactly. So you
Signs
see,
of end
we
time.
all know these end time messages, and we understand that these things would happen. So for me, carrying a gun is not going to solve the problem. Because
What will solve the
die.
problem, Mariah, is the government to take up their responsibility,
Exactly.
protecting the lives of every Nigerian.
That's all.
That's all.
I
All
agree.
so that's all we can take. No more tweets. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, electricity, power generation supply in Nigeria. We're going to try to talk to. We tried to speak to the minister, but he's out of the country. He told me, but then he sent us somebody else's number. So hopefully we try to get him on the phone to speak to us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, for decades, the power situation in Nigeria, as we know, has been a major cause for concern. In addition to the ongoing economic issues plaguing the country, the power issue has also bitten hard. According to reports, it's estimated that different industries are incurring so much money and having power to facilitate their generators to work. Now, how long do we have to wait to get electricity in this country? Joining us on the show via our Abuja studio is the Assistant General Manager, Customer Service Standard, Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, Mr. Shitu Shoaibu. Welcome to the show, sir. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Mr. Shoaibu, are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Yes.
Good morning.
All right. So the general question every single Nigerian wants to know: when are we going to have electricity in this country? Uninterrupted electricity, actually.
Well, okay, thank you very much. Good morning again, viewers. The issue of electricity, of course, has been a perennial problem, to the country. And of course, we know the history so far since NEPA, since ECN to NEPA to present, distribution companies and a deregulated sector. Government has strived in so many ways to ensure that the sector becomes more efficient and viable, and hence it introduced the privatization program, which brought in operators at generation and distribution levels. Of course, the transmission level is still being managed by government through some arrangement in the past with a management contractor, but now presently being managed directly by TCN staff. Basically, we'll look at the issue with respect to power presently from availability and then access and equally efficiency in terms of the metering and billing. The availability issues, we know, we have presently a capacity of about 7,000 megawatts ready to be injected into the grid. Unfortunately, because of the issues we have in the Niger Delta, and of course pipelines being blown off, gas supply has made that volume of electricity to come in. We experienced something close to 5,000 megawatts sometimes early last year before we had the issues of
Going back
this
to that.
interruption. So basically, first and foremost, the issue we're having is that of availability, which of course is dependent on the generating companies being able to deliver that which they have been installed to do.
All right.
Secondly, of course, we have the issue of,
Mr. Shuaibu,
go ahead.
I was going to ask the question of
Yes, please.
The discos and the Gencos are saying that we cannot continue the way we are, and Nigerians will expect that we'll have uninterrupted electricity for the simple reason of the tariff is just too low. We're not generating enough funds to maintain what we have on ground. And Nigerians are saying, okay, give me the power now if you want me to pay more. How do we solve this problem? Why are we unable to find funding for the discos and Gencos and everything they need to supply power, to the extent that, of course, it will be cheaper for me to pay them than be buying diesel or petrol?
Yeah, thank you very much. This, of course, I was coming to the issue of liquidity. What you are talking about now is liquidity in the sector. I would like to first and foremost state that the electricity sector runs like every other productive sector. Electricity itself is a product. And of course, if a product is to come into existence, it has to be cost effectively. And the way the power sectors costs are handled is we have something like a multi-year tariff order that takes in all of the cost elements of the generation, distribution, and transmission into consideration, and we call it revenue requirement. So that revenue requirement is done in such a way that you have a 5-year trajectory over which a generating company, a distribution company, and of course the transmission is guaranteed that whatever you spend, you will get paid. Okay. The last time we did a major tariff review was in 2015. And we built in all the costs that all the aspects of the sector, provided to us into, the tariff. And of course, we came up with the tariff that was to run for not even 5 years, but a period of 10 years, sculpted. And the tariff will go up at first. And after 2018, the tariff was supposed to be coming down, all things being equal. And of course, like I said earlier, the projection was based on an availability of 5,000 megawatts moving forward. And of course, when the generation peaks at almost 7,000, we're expecting that the revenue, the tariff will start coming down.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we started, the tariff, but in February last year, we experienced a loss of almost 3,000 megawatts.
Yes.
So generation became very low. And then the tariff has been, running. And of course, like we said, without you're getting enough product. If you are selling a product, the discos they are basically retailers.
Yes.
So they sell a product that they have. So if you have a shortage in the products that you sell, what normally happens is that the prices should go up. But because of the way we design the tariff, we cannot unilaterally increase, the prices of the consumption. And of course, the customers, of course, are on the other side, saying that, of course, you are not providing for us, so why should you charge us?
Yeah.
So that's the dilemma that the sector found itself. But we have been working with both the discos and generators and, of course, government to ensure that we improve upon the availability of the product, and, of course, we sculpt the tariff for, the various operators so that they can still be in business.
Okay.
And true, like you said, without liquidity, without the fund, you cannot, of course, run the sector.
All right.
So whenever we ask questions about improving our power supply, the authorities always go back to discos and Gencos. However, information carries that transmission is a major issue. That even if we generate 10,000, we don't have the capacity to transmit that amount to the discos. So what is is that true? And what is the government doing about improving the transmission?
Okay, thank you very much. Like we said, of course, the reform agenda has a holistic approach to it, bringing in the private sector into generation and distribution. Of course, government, because transmission has a lot of capital, it's a capital-intensive area, so government still has to, provide assistance in that direction. Government has a lot of projects, like of course you've heard probably the minister, talk about the injection of money into, the transmission areas. True, the transmission capacity is a little bit not too stable, but of course there are lots of projects presently being carried out by both the company and of course government itself towards ensuring that transmission bottlenecks are cleared. If we have enough capacity, of course, all of these issues, and of course from the tariff itself, there is a provision for transmission. I think we have about 200 billion built into the revenue requirement of transmission as a support from the market. But like we said, transmission too is equally a means of moving the product. And of course, if you don't have enough product to move, what normally happens is that transmission itself does not have enough revenue to cover its operations. So basically, what we're saying is that go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Shuaibu,
70 billion.
I wanted to ask you.
Yes, please.
Is there a possibility to probably decentralize this power sector? Like taking a region, for instance, like K2 region, and let's get more local investors, like personal, private people, come and say they want to power up the entire K2. Somebody goes and says, I want to power up the entire, we say, I want to power. Can we even fight for that kind of, so that I think if we do that, onboarding the government, don't you think it would help effect this change, and probably will get steady
I think
power
Lagos State supply. even tried that with in the
yes, there's a
IPP, yes.
Can I just add something? There's a policy on ground that if you generate power
Over 10 megawatts.
once it passes 10 megawatts, you contribute it to the grid.
National
Is
grid.
there any plan by the NEC to ensure that they break down this law to ensure freedom, decentralize it?
Just repeal the law. It's outdated.
Okay, thank you very much. Now to come to basically the activities of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission that is presently being headed by an acting chairman by the name of Dr. Anthony Aka MNI. What we do is we ensure an orderly development of the sector. And in doing so, we have a lot of, lots of regulations that we brought out. We've actually taken care of issues of off-grid electricity supply. We have equally regulations on even independent distribution electricity network. The issue is you find that the electricity business is, like we said, capital intensive, and it has a lot of other ramifications, including environmental issues, of course, the technical issues, and of course the cost issues. So we do have regulations in place that will cater for all of these aspects of off-grid embedded generation. And if you go to www.nercng.org, these regulations are there, and we do receive solicitations. But like we said, whoever is coming into the power sector has to come in with, of course, seriousness of intention, and you have to have your abilities to be able to deliver. Okay. It's not just coming to keep a generator in an estate, and of course you pollute.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you. I have to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have Mr. Shitu Shuaibu in our Abuja studios. Thanks for staying with us. Now, we know that before the budget was passed, I know Minister Fashola was saying, listen, let me know how much I have, and I know how I can spend it. So we know out of the 500 and something billion naira he received, he has allocated 70 billion for power. What exactly does he plan to do? Because we know that transmission got the lion's share of this 70 billion. What exactly is the money going to be spent on, and what should we expect with the 70 billion naira budget from the ministry?
Well, basically, like we said, transmission is does a lot of turnkey projects. We have quite a lot of projects ongoing now to cover the loop. You know, all of these issues that you've mentioned, like we have transmission bottlenecks in Kano, Eko, Ibadan, that of course prevent, even if we have adequate you know, supply in terms of generation, there might still be issues of you know, such power reaching, you know, these distribution companies. But of course, like we said, and working with, of course, the technical people in transmission, government has, you know, because there was a recent tender for transmission projects, and which I think was opened about 2 weeks ago, you know, for projects that relate to ensuring that there's, you know, grid efficiency.
Okay.
Because it is important that we reiterate the fact that quite a lot of funding is required for transmission projects.
Okay,
And of
all right,
course,
thank you very much.
Like in the entire sector itself has not been, okay.
All right, I know in Benin, particularly where my mother-in-law stays as Benin GRA, they've regulated power supply in a way that they get 3 hours in a chunk, and then they don't have light for the next 3 hours, and then they have another 3 hours. Is there anything the NEC is doing to ensure that all discos implement a project where we know that we don't have enough power, but if we're going to have 2 hours, let's have the 2 hours, ration it in a way that we can plan towards it, that okay, we will have light between this period, so we can all focus on it, because we can't expect growth in our economy if we don't have any clear plan, consistency, even if it is 1 hour, let's know when we would have it. Is there any plan for NEC to implement this project, implement it across?
Yes, like I said, as part of our regulatory functions, we give directives and, of course, regulations to the various distribution companies to ensure, you know, that, of course, customer satisfaction is given a priority. First and foremost, of course, there was a directive to them to publish even their load shedding, you know, schedules, such that, you know, their local customers will have an idea of how to manage their systems. But like I said, you know, all of these are a function of actual availability. They are being guaranteed that even from generation all the way to transmission, they get, you know, assured levels of supply. We are still working with them to ensure not only do you help your customers manage, you know, their available you know, supply, but equally, when it comes to billing, you bill them fairly. And that is why we ensure we've given quite a lot of directives and enforcement, you know, programs with respect to issues of metering.
Okay, all right, thank you very much on that one.
We are still working. We are.
All right, thank you. Yes.
We're still on that metering issue, because a lot of people are unable to get the proper digital meter where they know exactly what they're spending. So people still get those estimated bills. And we heard the minister saying that that they will stop estimated bills.
That to give all of us
and
meters.
Also give everybody meter. But people still have that issue, and a chunk of people actually have that issue. What are they doing towards, you know, resolving that, at least letting people pay for what they have? Then also, do you have a plan for alternate power supply outside the gas you talked about, and which other one is our major power supply? Water?
Hydro.
You know, are there plans in that budget that would bring about alternate power generation?
Thank you very much. With respect to metering, of course, we have, as part of MITRE 2015, milestones that the distribution companies are expected to meet in terms of their metering. And equally, as part of their performance agreement with government, they are expected to meter all their customers, at least cover the metering gap within a period of 5 years. But we have worked with them to reduce, you know, that period. And of course, we gave a directive with respect to especially, you know, MD customers that they should meter them latest by November 30th. Of course, they came back to us that they had done 80 to 90% completion. So what we've done now is giving them a moratorium to end in February, and as from 1st of March, whoever is an MD customer first and foremost who doesn't have a meter, you know, the distribution companies, of course, would be, you know, penalized and sanctioned.
So we'll hold you to that one. We'll hold you to that. We'll hold you to that statement, Sam. We'll hold you to that statement. Very good. By March 1st of March. Then
the other question on alternate power supply.
No problem. Yes, that's looking at alternative sources of electricity like solar, biomass, and the other alternative. What we've done is we've actually approved some licenses with respect to this alternative power generation. But like we said, the regular power supply, 1 megawatt costs about $1 million. So the alternate power supply, of course, more expensive. So you find that developers come with proposals, and of course we encourage them, and of course we sign all the requisite, we give them all the requisite approvals. It's for them to go ahead. So there is a provision in under our regulations for off-grid alternative sources for individuals to come and of course get licenses to produce off-grid solar and all the other
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on the program today. We appreciate it. Can we see some tweets, please?
Yes. Kepi says, why will a community be taxed to make repairs for a bad transformer and still be given huge amounts of bill to pay? Bakare says, I think we should start looking at subsidizing alternative means of power supply such as solar and meter supply. Adebayo says, what are the efforts of government towards alternative power supply?
Okay.
Martha says, Nigerians are suffering and smiling.
OJ says, my payment has doubled for a year now for a 4-bedroom house in Jabi, Abuja. Okay. I spend 10K per week, yet they say tariff has not increased.
All right,
I think tariff has increased as well.
We still have, we can't finish this conversation.
That George says, please tell Shitu Shuaibu that it's so dark in here, I can barely see my phone.
All right, no problem. We have to run off. I know that the minister did say they're still having this issue with gas. Yes. The issue, the fact that pipeline vandalism is key because you cannot generate what you don't have. So that's a major problem. But he even said that we can't complete this conversation in 1 hour. So we still need to bring them back again. Hopefully when he gets back
in the country,
we'd like to speak to him because we still have lots of questions, sir.
That's
all we can take on the show today. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye-bye.